Welcome back to the podcast, everybody, and welcome to a series that has been 20 years in the making. I am titling this series the Jester Section Hiker Playbook. The playbook is 7 logical steps toward completing your favorite long-distance trail as a section hiker. Over the last 20 years, I have learned what works when it comes to setting your section hiking goals, logistics, training, gear, nutrition, having fun, and as they say in the hiking world, hiking your own hike. Over these next 7 days, I will be releasing this series of episodes focusing on each one of the steps in individual shows. We've made it through steps 1 through 4, so now we move forward to step number 5, which is nutrition. Thanks for coming back for step number 5, which is nutrition. I gotta be honest right from the start with this step, I struggle with nutrition the most. When it comes time to meal prep for the trail, I have to say it used to be the very last thing I ever did before I went out on a section hike because I was just never interested in the food. But now I have learned the key to a great day on trail also includes fueling my body properly, and my new mantra is, food is fuel for your body. Let me say that again. My new mantra is, food is fuel for your body. So here are my 6 key components to step number 5 of nutrition, starting with number 1, good calories. Number 2, carbs give you the energy. Number 3, protein is for your muscles. Number 4, protein powder. Number 5, electrolytes. And then number 6, electrolytes and carbs. So let's go back. Good calories. All right, y'all. You've trained, you've prepped, you've got all this together. Go ahead and have some junk food out on the trail. I certainly plan to. That's when I plan to eat all the pizza, all the spaghetti, all the chips, all the snacks, everything I want to enjoy. But going forward, my meal prep food is not going to be all junk. If you ever looked at anything I did in the past, in fact, you could probably go over to a vlog series I did when I prepped for the John Muir Trail. I put pictures and talked about all my food for the 3 weeks of being on the John Muir Trail. It was literally nothing but junk. And I'm sure I would have survived if we would have completed the John Muir Trail back in 2021. But my meal prepping now is totally different. And I have had to learn a lot of things along the way. And I am still learning. So, good calories, mix those good calories in with your junk food. Of course, junk food, celebrate, have that Snickers bar, have whatever you want, but add those good calories in. Key component number 1, good calories. Key component number 2, carbs are going to give you the energy to sustain you on trail when you hike all day long on trail. I know this and I knew this, but I never really looked into carbs. I never looked at the back of labels. I never knew how many grams of carbs were in snacks. Over the past year, I have really been investigating different snacks, different breakfast options, different meals that have good carbs. And carbs are the energy that are going to sustain you while you are hiking. So load up on those carbs for breakfast, have good carbs at lunch, throw in some protein after lunch, and we're going to talk about that next. But I wanted to give you some examples of things that I have been utilizing myself. Last summer, when I went out, the breakfast of choice was either a Kodiak, Kodiak type of breakfast bar that had a good mix of carbs and protein. Kodiak also makes a high carb, high protein oatmeal that you can get now. You can get it at your local grocery store. And I will add some information about the Kodiak bars in the show notes. They make really good nutrition bars. Another thing I've learned that have good carbs are dried fruit. Any of your nut butters are going to have high carbs. I absolutely love peanut butter. So that is a staple in my hiking diet when I am out on trail. For those of you that love dark chocolate is also a good carb loading snack, gives you energy. Any type of energy gels, typically I use a GU gel, AGU, that's the way you spell it, gel. Any types of sports beans, anything with nutritional value that is going to give you those carbs. When it comes to fruit, most gas stations now, at the counter, you can go into the gas station for your resupply and you can get the junk food, or you can stand there and make good options. And most gas stations now have fruit. They have bananas, they have apples, sometimes they have oranges, they have dried fruit snacks that you can buy. So now, as a section hiker, if I'm going somewhere to resupply, if I'm going into a gas station to get some snacks, I always look at my options. The junk food option, the Little Debbie's, or the good carb options, which are your fruits, your good nutrition bars, and your protein bars. So number 2 key concept is carbs give you energy, and those were some examples. Moving on to key component number 3, which I have been learning, protein is for your muscles. I believe I've always known this, but never really, quite honestly, paid much attention to it. But again, over these last 12, 13 months, protein has been a large fuel source for me. And it's very important that I get protein in after I've gone and exercised all day or gone out on a day hike all day. And protein is to build your muscles for muscle recovery, to make sure that your muscles are sustaining, that you're not losing muscle while you are out on trail. And again, I want to emphasize, I'm not a nutritionist. I'm not anything when it comes to food. What I am is a lifelong learner at this point, what I need to do to sustain my body. So some examples of protein that I use out on the trail are like any kind of jerkies, turkey jerky, beef jerky, any kind of packaged meat, or some people call it potted meat. You're talking your tuna, your chicken packs, and now there's all kinds of flavors of tuna, all kinds of flavors of chicken packs out there that have that good protein source. Your dehydrated meals, you really want to look at those. A lot of times they're not very high in protein. And one of the dehydrated meals that I have found that has the higher protein content that you can put back in your body in the evening after you've hiked all day is the Peak Refuel, PEAK, Refuel dehydrated meals. Any type of protein bar, probably the best protein versus carb versus sugar bars out there right now are the Quest bars, QUEST. Another protein bar you can get are the Kodiak bars. And if you go to your nutritional section of the grocery store where all the protein bars are, just really look at, does the protein or does the bar have high carb content? Does the bar have high protein content? Another one out there are the Quest cookies. Sometimes they have chocolate chip cookies that have 30 plus grams of protein, very low in sugar, but a snack for the afternoon, getting you ready for that high protein meal in the evening. So again, the protein bars, the Quest bars, and another company I have found, and I have tried their meals multiple times, and I'm looking forward to trying them again this summer, a company called Green Belly, GreenBelly. They have added a protein line of bar to they have like meal packs that you can get from them, and you can utilize them as snacks. You can utilize them as meals. And I will leave their website in the show notes of this episode as well. So there's some examples of good calories, good carbs, protein. And again, factoring in, this is the type of food that you're going to be eating while you're on trail. And then if you take a day off, if you take a day resupplying, you could always make good choices in towns, fruits, vegetables, having a meal, meat and potatoes, getting some good carbs in, getting some good protein in with your meat. You could always make good decisions. And that's what I've learned. You can make good decisions to have junk food when you feel like it, and you can make good decisions to have quality food when you feel like it. And I will say for myself, I am not going to go hiking or out on a section hike. 10 times out of 10, I am going to have pizza, and I really look forward to that. So whatever your fun meal of choice is, look forward to having that. Make quality decisions. Mine just happens to be pizza. Moving on to key point number 4 is protein powder. Protein powder is very easy to carry. You can measure it out. You can put it in little snack bags, and it's really easy to carry on trail. It's not heavy. It's lighter weight. So, for example, I use the Bare Performance Nutrition protein powder. It's a collagen protein powder. It really sets well on my stomach. And within one scoop, you get 80 calories, and then you get 20 grams of protein. And for me, every single day for the last year, I have put that protein powder in my coffee in the morning. It mixes with cold drinks, hot drinks, and there's no taste because it's unflavored. I have just found that works very well for me. And Bare Performance Nutrition, I guess you would call them a supplement company that seeks out athletes that are trying to perform in their sport. And I consider myself a hiking athlete because when you go out on trail and you're hiking day after day after day after day, 10, 12, 15 miles a day, you are a hiking athlete. So I want to properly fuel my performance. So look at some protein powders. You should be using protein on a daily basis anyway. For the most part, early in the morning, you could have a protein shake in the afternoon. It's just a really easy way to add protein into your overall daily protein count. All right, moving on to key component number 6, electrolytes. No matter what time of year you're hiking, you should be utilizing electrolytes every time you go out to hike. And quite honestly, I utilize electrolytes on a daily basis to make sure I have proper salt, to make sure I have proper pH balance in my body. So even at work, when I'm moving around and teaching kids, I will drink water with electrolytes in that water. So what I wanted to do is properly give you a definition of what electrolytes are. So most of the time, we all know we need electrolytes, but what do electrolytes actually do? So formal definition of electrolytes is electrolytes are essential for keeping your nervous system and muscles functioning. They also ensure that your body's internal environment is optimal by keeping you hydrated and helping you regulate your internal pH. Electrolytes found in your body include the following: sodium, potassium, chloride, calcium, magnesium, phosphate, and bicarbonate. I don't know what all those mean, but what I do know is we need to make sure we have a great electrolyte balance in our body, not only on a daily basis, but as we hike as well. And the electrolytes, again, that I have found work the best, especially in the summer, are electrolytes by Bare Performance Nutrition. I just have found that I really love their products, and I love their culture that they have in their company. And I love the podcast, the Nick Bare podcast. That's where I have learned a lot of nutritional information as well. So because I love his podcast, I like supporting his company. And his electrolytes are natural. There's no crazy sugars. And that's one of the things that you want to be careful of. There's a lot of electrolytes out there. A lot of them contain sugar that you don't necessarily need and other things that you just don't need. You just need straight up electrolytes. And I know electrolytes that are popular with hikers are the company called Element, LMNT, and they are a great electrolyte company as well. All right, so number 5 was electrolytes, and then I added number 6 just because it's something that I found that's very useful for me is combining electrolytes and carbs. Number 6 key component within nutrition that works for me is a sport drink called G1M Sport, and it actually comes in a powder form. And this key component, I actually combined and just call it electrolytes and carbs. And the G1M Sport also comes from Bare Performance Nutrition. So it is a combination powder that you can pour into your water in the morning. It gives you a very high carb component, that fuel that you need to get you going in the morning. And it also includes a pH balance level, which gives you everything I just talked about earlier, the sodium, the potassium, the chloride, the calcium, the magnesium, the phosphate, and the bicarbonate. That helps fuel you in the morning. You can also, again, you can measure that out very easily. You could put those in little baggies, and then you can add that to your water throughout the day as well. So you're getting not only calories, but you're getting carbs and you're getting electrolytes in a liquid form. And it just makes sense to me when I'm out hiking and I'm putting in high intensity days on the trail to get some nutrition in a liquid form. So there you have it, everybody. Step number 5, nutrition with the 6 key components. And I will make sure that I put in the show notes all the resources I have talked about. I will give you an article where I found some more information about electrolytes. I will put in the show notes as well any descriptions that I've talked about, any of the companies and where I have found this information. So again, as I close out this episode, just remember the Jester Section Hiker Playbook is all about having fun in the process of achieving your goals of completing a long-distance trail as a section hiker. Section hiking is an ongoing process of learning, adapting, and achieving. Thanks for listening, everybody. Be safe out there and happy section hiking.